Muted. Hello?
Hey, Kirby.
Hi, Bailey. How are
Good.
you?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Nice to talk to you. I know we've been going
Me
back and
too.
forth.
So KJ texted me. She'll be on in
Yeah,
5 minutes.
sounds good.
Where are
Sounds
you
good.
right now? Are you in New York or LA?
I'm actually in
Oh
Atlanta.
my goodness.
Yes.
I am actually
Yes.
in Dalton right now, which is about an hour and a half north of Atlanta. Well, I'm in Georgia too, but
Oh,
more,
okay.
I guess, closer to Tennessee.
Okay. It's so funny. My sister's here visiting, and she actually just came from Nashville. So
Awesome. It's
area.
been weird weather right now. Like on like Christmas, it was like in the 70s, and now it's like freezing and
It's so interesting because I literally was just talking to someone and they were like, where because my family's from Virginia. So I'm like, yeah, I was in Virginia. It was so nice. They're like, have you seen what's going on? But literally over Christmas, it was in the 70s. So I left right before everything happened. But the weather was amazing a few weeks ago. It's just a strange time.
it is. We
Yeah,
ended up getting like a little bit of snow, not much, but just like a
right.
little like sprinkle of snow the other day.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, here in Georgia?
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay, I didn't even know that. Yeah, I could tell I've been like locked into my computer all day, but I can always tell when it's cold. I'm like, okay, this is to turn the heat on.
Today
Yes,
for us, it's just a cold and rainy day.
yes, exactly, exactly. I'm so excited about the interview. Was watching
That's cute.
the reunion last night and just looking up some of the stuff she's done. So yes, it's exciting.
She recently just got engaged over the holidays.
Yes. Yes, I was gonna actually work that to my question because I know, Auntie, her character goes through so much, but in reality, she's in a healthy place. So I definitely wanted to explore that too. Like that's so exciting.
How long have you been in Atlanta?
Yes. I've been in Atlanta maybe about 4 or 5 years. I went to undergrad here also, but I moved back about 4 or 5 years
Awesome.
ago. Yes, are you from this area? Are you
Yes,
from
I
Dalton
grew up
or?
in Georgia, but I moved to New York
Okay.
for college, actually.
Mhm.
I went to Pace
Okay.
University.
Oh, I'm familiar with Pace. My cousin went to Pace actually. How did you like
It
it?
was great. I actually learned about Pace from going to one of those Atlanta college fairs. So,
Okay, okay.
and that's how I ended up in New
Oh,
York.
that is amazing. And I was going to tell you, Bailey, we definitely, have to connect because I write for other outlets as well. And I think she would be a great fit for another outlet. I write for Exo Nicole too. So I'll make sure to
Yes,
reconnect with you.
please.
Yes, yes. But yeah, interesting. New York. I was born in Queens. I love New York.
It's been kind of like I guess difficult right now. A lot of like some of the Broadway shows have been canceling shows again because of like the COVID cases and everything's
Okay.
going back to virtual.
Oh, okay. I see her enter
Yay.
now.
Okay.
Yes. Hi, KJ. Hi, KJ. How are
Hi,
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So nice to talk to
Nice to talk
you.
to you too. Thanks for having me.
Yes. No problem. First of all, congrats on everything, the engagement, the new season of life. It must be great right now.
Life is so good right now. It's
Yes,
it's
yes.
vibes. Like I'm just in the flow and it feels good.
Love that. Love that. Well, congratulations. How was your holiday and everything?
Um, Life changing. I'll start there.
Yes.
Obviously, yeah, Christmas was
Yes.
really life changing for me.
Right.
I made a commitment to be with my
Yes.
soulmate. So that's really
Yes.
exciting. And I think New Year's was a little anticlimactic, but I
Okay.
liked it that way. With
Yes.
everything that's going on and
Right.
both of us having to get back to work, we were just
Yes.
like, let's just quarantine for a second.
Right.
But it was
Mhm.
nice. We kind of started our own little tradition and had our own little
Oh,
moment. And I'm a huge vision boarder, vision
okay.
journaler, goal setter. So
Yes.
weeks prior, I did a lot of, goal setting and,
Amazing.
just manifesting and things like that. So I felt prepared for the new year, and
That's
it has been exciting ever since.
I can imagine. I'm like, yes, things have been moving. That's so exciting. We actually had him for our cover story a while back, so I love that we get to interview both of y'all.
What?
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
Yes,
Okay, I didn't even know that.
So that's great. That's great. But I guess first, I just have to ask you, tell me a little bit, just walk me through your acting journey and how, I know this is a broad question, but just how, I know, but how you got to, because I mean, I've heard just, amazing things about Sistas. I've seen it, and it's just like one of those shows that have just blown up. So how does it feel, being an actress and going through auditions to get to a point like this?
I will say the political answer is I just feel gratitude that this moment has happened, and I'm so grateful. My transparency moment is like, it's like I am pinching myself every day. Like, if people only knew that, like, it's been so tumultuous, the ups and the downs of this industry. It really wears you out. It's really exhausting. And I just remember vowing that, like, I would be always honest about my journey, so that a young woman behind me won't be like how I was, where I was like, everything is glitter and rainbows and greener grass. I was really naive, to say the least, when I first got into the industry. And I took a licking, but I kept on taking. So in full transparency, I feel I do feel grateful. I feel like, a lot of the seeds that I planted, and a lot of the prayers that, I prayed when I was in my lowest moments have come to fruition. I feel like a bamboo tree. I feel so many things. And so, I think that would be me in full transparency, KJ mode.
I love that. So great to hear. And I mean, I have to ask you too, playing a character like Andi, who, goes through so many things. Like I said, I just love to hear your story and that you're in such a beautiful place. Are there ever moments that are like, ooh, this is kind of triggering? Like, because I know you got to remember the past, the single life stuff, and just different. Are there ever moments?
Girl. Girl.
Yes.
I mean, the entire season 2 was KJ. Like, I mean, literally, like there were.
Oh, I lost you for a second. Can you hear me? Here, maybe I'll take my headphones off. Okay.
Hello.
Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Like all of season 2, I was, full transparency again, I was going through a very, very awful relationship. And I pulled a lot from that relationship in many of the scenes that I went through with my character, Andi. And it was really hard. Like, it was hard for me to get through that season because, it was very triggering. It was the, lies or anything even remotely related to, just, not being honest and communicative in a relationship, any like deceitfulness, any of that, it triggered me. And there were scenes where I literally could not stop crying because it's just like I felt so connected, So it's just really interesting when people are like, Andi's this or Andi's that, because I'm just like, am I alone? Like, am I the only person who's gone through this?
No. I feel like,
and sometimes maybe people make me feel that way because I'm like, I can't be the only person who's dealt with a person who was toxic and gaslighting and manipulative and controlling. Like, am I the only person that's dealt with that? And shout out to the women who like show Andi love and are honest about like what they've gone through, because they really keep me going, honestly.
Right. And I mean, obviously the show is super successful, and I feel like that is a big portion of it. I mean, I think people can say like, okay, this is something I've been through. I know this friend. I've been this friend. You know what I mean? Those type of situations. So, no, I completely agree. And trust me, we all go through that kind of stuff. So I understand.
Yes.
I understand. Now, talk to me a little bit about, and you've even mentioned this already. Like, I've read that mentorship is really important to you. Why is that so important to you? And I mean, if there were like maybe like some nuggets you could give to aspiring actresses, what would you say?
Oh my, I wish I could teach a class every morning.
Yeah.
I honestly do, because the amount of questions that people ask me that require my 100% undivided attention, I just really want to pour back into, I call them young me's, baby me's.
Okay.
They are, because, you in this industry, you don't know what you don't know. Until you cross that path. Okay. So you can be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and you're like, I got this. No audition is the same. Yeah. No project is the same. No production is the same. No studio is the same. Yeah. No writer is the same. Everything is a brand new experience for me. So it keeps you on your toes. It keeps you present. So my first tidbit of advice for the not even the youth. I mean, I get mentorship from people younger than me and older than me and my age. So any tidbit of advice I would give for anyone who's seeking mentorship is one moment at a time. It's literally one moment at a time. If you get too far ahead in your mind to where you want to be, you're going to be dissatisfied with where you are. And if you get too far in the past, you're going to doubt yourself once again, So it's the most important thing in this business is to stay present. Each moment is so special. Each moment is so precious. There were times when I was talking to this with Sky, and I was just like, we literally were laughing because not even 5 years ago, I was in a McDonald's parking lot eating from their dollar menu because that's all I could afford. Yeah. And I didn't have it was just like,
right.
And now I can appreciate that moment so much more because let me tell you what I did in that moment.
What?
I made $5 stretch for an entire week. Okay. And I'm proud of myself for that. I'm proud of myself for that. So I try to tell anyone I mentor, again, young, old, my age, it's about being present. It's about receiving every moment and basking in it and understanding what the moment is for, because every moment is supposed to get you to the next moment. Sure. Medea's family funeral, I booked that when my father had passed away. Wow. And I was emotionally available. People were like, oh, I love that work. I love my work in that because it was so true to and organic what I was going through because my father passed away. Yeah. And in that moment, I couldn't have known that I would be meeting the man who was going to change my life forever. In that moment, I didn't know Tyler Perry was going to change my life forever. Yeah. 3 years later. Wow. So that's the best advice that I can give for anyone who's seeking mentorship. And I have so many other gems, and I could talk for hours. But the reason why mentorship is important to me is because either I didn't have it or I didn't know that I could get it. I think both things are true. I didn't have it, but now hindsight being what it was, I can honestly say to myself that I didn't seek it.
Okay, interesting.
I didn't reach out. I was so independent. I was so hard-headed. I was so stubborn. I felt like I got to do this on my own. I got to prove this to myself. I don't need nobody's advice. And when I say I hit my head on bricks, trees, concrete, everything so many times because I was just like, I got to do this on my own. I'm a strong, Black, independent woman, Yeah. And now hindsight being what it is, how readily I offer advice to people. I know that there was someone out there who would have done the same for me.
Okay.
But I just didn't seek it.
Yeah. When do you think that shifted? Like, was there something that happened in your life? Was there maybe like an opportunity? When do you think it was like, okay, it's time to start asking? Because I can tell just from talking to you that you're someone who likes to like help people. So when do you think you started? Yeah.
Okay. So two things happened.
Okay.
The first was I became Andi, and I saw her struggles with just carrying the load by herself. Right. She didn't trust that her friends wouldn't judge her. So she didn't ask them for help. Yeah. She didn't trust that her man wouldn't leave her for her inadequacies. So she didn't ask him for help. Okay. She didn't ask her partners for help because she's trying to prove that being the only Black lawyer in her firm, she wanted to prove that I can do this. And so seeing her, I was like, oh, wow, I do the same thing. Right. Like, I was like, whoa, I do the exact same thing. Yeah. And so that was the first thing. And then, you know, when I got on this platform, you know, people, and even before that, my close friends asked me for help. And I felt pride in helping. Right. But then when I got on this platform, everybody's asking. Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, whoa. I was like, yo. And without question, I'm like, how can I help? Right. And if I can't, I'm like, listen, this is going to require more time than I have. Yeah. However, if you can catch me at one of my seminars, if you could catch me at one of my panels, I got you. I was like, but in this moment, I can't send you, you know, a to-do list on Instagram in the DMs. Like, I can't do that. I don't have that time. Yeah. You know? But when people started asking more frequently, unabashedly, like without, you know, question, and I would try to help. I was like, wait, if I would do this for someone, I know someone would do this for me. Yeah. So then I was like, I need to start asking people for help. Right. And when I said, let me tell you something, it has made my life so much easier. So much easier. Hey, do you mind calling your friend? I need this. Da, 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 da. Right. Listen, hey, I thought that I had everything I needed. I don't. Do you know anyone who has this? Do you have a resource for this? Yeah. What do you think I should do about this? How do you think I should, you know? And it's just like, when we do what humans are supposed to do, life is good. Right. You know, people forget that we are all, it's community. Human connection is everything. That is why we had so many issues during the quarantine, because we couldn't connect. We were just at home, like, not connecting. But human connection is everything. So if humans do what humans are supposed to do, then we'll be good. Yeah. But we're in a society where we're learning to just be by ourselves. Right. And, you know, I'm guilty of it too, you know, but I'm just, you know, I'm saying that, like, I am learning. One of my 2020 goals is I'm reaching out. I'm contacting, where you at? What you doing? Are you busy? Let's powwow about this.
That's such a good one to have, because like you said, I mean, obviously with what's going on where everybody's tucked away, but also it's just, I don't know, the apps, it's so easy for us to be so like in our own world, but you're right. We need that connection. That's how we grow. That's how we learn, you know? Yeah. So that makes perfect sense. And now, speaking of community, you know, we have to ask, because you guys just seem so cool on camera. The reunion, hilarious, first of all, but you know, you guys really seem like you just have a great, like, camaraderie and everything. Tell me what it's like being on set, working with Tyler Perry, what it's like working with your castmates, everything.
First of all, let me start with this. Those are my girls. Period. Like, we have literally overcome so many circumstances together. We love each other so much. We've been through so much. We've shared so much of each other, you know, with each other. We've had so many moments together. Like, they have changed my life. Like, those are my girls. Yes, yes. So it's great being on set because we don't have a lot of scenes together. Okay. And we shoot so fast. So if we do, it's like, you know, 4 hours. And it's like, oh, we're all here. Great. Okay, let's do it. Yes. And then it's like drama, and it's like laughter. And then those in-between moments, we try to, like, you know, still moments together. And then now our lives have changed. So we're in different cities now, and we have different circumstances now. So it makes it a little bit harder to connect. But when we do, it is even better than what you see on TV, because we don't have to pull from the dramatic confusion, anger, it's not always that, but when people see it is when we have our happy scenes. When we have those lighthearted, if we're in the club or we're at the bar or that's when people really see it. That connection is our purest form together. So it's really cool. Yeah. And working with Tyler Perry, I mean, this man, I am forever grateful for this man. Like he is an icon. He has changed the industry single-handedly. And he has done it in a way that's he's humble. He gives back. He's generous. He's loving. Like, Tyler's my dog too. Like Tyler's my dog. Like, I texted him last night after the show. I was like, we did it! Like, but that's my energy. Like that's like, I'm just an energetic person, but like I'm proud of us. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think anybody could have anticipated the impact that we would have on the rest of the world. I'm getting messages from Tanzania, New Zealand. I'm getting messages from South Africa, Nigeria, Brazil. We're changing the world.
Yes. Did you
even if it's just like, huh?
Did you expect it? Did you expect it to be as big as it's become?
I prayed for it.
Okay.
I prayed for it.
Yes.
I did not expect it.
Yeah.
I did not expect it, but I did pray for it. And I'm happy that the blessing is here. Yeah. I will say that.
Exactly. And I'm excited too because I know you're going to be in, is it Raising Kanan?
Raising Kanan, yes.
Isn't that such a different role than kind of like from what I've read, it's a bit different than are you like nervous? Are you excited? How are you feeling?
I'm proud, honestly. Okay. I have done so many different roles. I have done so many different roles over the years. And this one was the most challenging yet because I had to dig a lot deeper to find similarities. And I had to admit things I didn't want to admit about myself.
Okay.
In order to find this character because she's a real piece of work. That's the only way I could describe her. She's like nothing I've ever done. Okay. And she would be the lowest version of my elevated self. I don't know if I can even say that. Like, I don't know what production is allowing me to say. I hope no one hears that. I don't want to say it. She's not like I don't want to say it like she's like some bottom feeder or nothing like that. But the choices she makes, I'm like, I used to judge. And then I had to be like, hold on now. You remember that time when you were in this place and you had that same thought. You remember that time when you were in a different space and you wanted to act just like she's acting. Gotcha. So don't trip. And so now even in acting, it's interesting because people are like, actors are fake. But I think actors are very evolved. And I'll tell you why. Okay. Because we have to learn the first rule in acting is never judge. Okay. You can't judge a character. You can't judge a person. You can't judge people at all because you have to embody those people. Right. And if I'm a bad person, I don't think I'm bad. I'm 100% justified in the things that I do. Right. So how am I a bad person? Yeah. So I think that, when people have a disconnect with actors, it's because we don't judge people because art imitates life, right? And life imitates art sometimes. So it's forced myself and literally everyone who I know is in the arts, artists, musicians, it forces you to remain open. Okay. It forces you to say, this person's not bad because they made a choice. You don't know the circumstances behind the choice that they made. Yeah. And that is what Palomar had to do for me. I had to be like, when I started digging, I was like, yeah, that makes sense that she said that. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, that checks out. Okay, this is our backstory. Right. And this is where I come from. And this is my upbringing. And this is what I believe. All this checks out. And when I did all that homework,
Yes. Yeah.
That's my girl now. Palomar is my girl. I completely understand where she comes from. I hope everyone loves her as much as I do. But she's definitely my most challenging role yet. And I'm very proud of what we've been able to do. Everyone on set is so dope. I'm so blessed to be part of such a machine, like, you know, a great franchise. I'm 100% honored. Yeah.
Yes, I'm excited. I can't wait to watch it. That's one of the ones. It's like I started watching it. I'll watch one episode now. Watch all the powers. So it's,
you have to binge watch it. I said the same thing. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna study for, you know, my audition. I'm just gonna study. Before I know it was 4:00 in the morning, and I had seen all the episodes, and I was mad when it was off. Yeah, so you can imagine my surprise when they called me and said that I booked the role. I was just like, I mean, wow.
Right.
Just honored.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. It must be great to like just enjoy the shows and the projects you're on and also be such a big part of them. So that's exciting. It's exciting. So I guess finally I have to ask, because this is defined as a life-changing season. Obviously you're going through a life-changing season yourself. Again, congratulations. I'm excited for you. Why do you think this season is being called a life-changing season? If you can give us, I know not too much, but.
Oh my gosh. Wait, you mean life-changing in my personal life, or are you talking about Sistas season?
Well, actually I'm talking about Sistas. I've heard they've said that. I know you're going through that personally already, but
that's what they're,
that's what I've been hearing. Yeah, it's a life-changing season. So I'm like,
okay, I'm going to tell you why for the show. Okay. So for you know, the show, the life-changing part is you're watching these women evolve before your very eyes. Okay. So the things that people perceived as flaws, everyone's evolving into this. They're starting to see like, oh wait, that's on me. They're starting to take accountability and make changes, or say, and so what? That's who I am, and I'm going to stick through it, and that's who I am, and it's no more confusion. It's like this is what it is. So I think that that's what's making it so life changing, because big decisions are having to be made. Yeah. Is Fatima going to move in with Zach? And if so, why? What does that look like now? Are they going to have a healthy relationship after that? Right. How are they going to handle that? Is Karen going to have this baby? And whose baby is it? And these are big girl decisions that everyone's got to make, right? Yes. You know, Andi has to put her foot down. Like, do I want to continue a relationship with my boss? Is this going to jeopardize my livelihood? Right. You know, these are things that really change the game for everyone. Sabrina has to figure out, you know what? I do want to keep being single. You know, everyone's like, you need to pick a man, but no, you don't. Right. No, you don't. Yeah. You don't need to pick a man. You can continue to be single for the rest of your life if you choose, you know? Right. So I think, you know, everyone is really getting clarity on where they stand and who they are. And I don't know if you saw the first episode, but Danny, she gave a monologue to Preston that I'm not single and I'm not interracially dating, but low key, I was like, I just want to give this monologue to somebody because it was so good. I was like, yes. Oh my goodness. It was so good.
I've been kind of like, I'm excited to see, all of the storylines. And again, I think that's why everybody has something they like connect with. Because for the longest time, I was like, with Andy's character, I was like, why won't she leave him alone? But then it's like, we've all had those moments. We're like, why didn't we walk away? How can we judge her? And again, with Danny's character, I loved their whole dynamic. But then I thought when she kind of explained more about like, you know, he shouldn't have been breaking in my house. He really should. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I wouldn't have liked that either. So, you know, all of these different, I love the different perspectives and ideas. How do you hope, I know it's kind of, you know, what do you hope happens for Andi? I'll ask that.
You know, because Andi does want a fairy tale, I want her to have her fairy tale. Yes. And that looks like, you know, for her, but I don't want it to be a shallow pool fairy tale. I want it to be a deep ocean, deep fairy tale in which is not just in her mind and based on societal standards of what a fairy tale looks like. Gotcha. Okay. I want it to be hearty and healthy and deep and real and true love of self, love of her career, love of her partner if she decides to be with a man or a woman. That's another choice that she's got to make, you know? So I just want her to have a warm, grit-filled life of wealth and happiness that's not a facade of what she's been told love and happiness looks like, or what she just, you know, we've all done it where we're like, oh, this is my idea of what success is.
Right.
You know, and then you reach it and you're like, I am unsatisfied.
Right.
You know, I went into corporate America. I went to school. I went into corporate America. I was doing my thing and I was like, this is not it. Right. This is not it. I had all the check marks. Yeah. I had fulfilled all the goals on my goal sheets. Yeah. And I still felt unsatiated because I wasn't living in my purpose. So I just need Andi to tap in. I need her to get aligned, and I want her to go forth in her purpose. Yeah. And love more. She needs to love more. She thinks too much. She needs to lead with her heart instead of with her brain.
Yeah, these are gems.
I'm here all week, people. It's free $99.
Yes, I love it. No, I mean, thank you so much. I mean, I know I've said it a million times, but again, congrats on everything. You know, the success of the show, the engagement, good luck on everything. I love hearing, you know, people who are doing well, who are also mentored. Yes, oh, you know what I have to ask though? I have to say, I heard you slid into the DM. So tell us, do you think women should be okay taking that first jump? I guess so, right?
Slide in the DMs. It is 2022. Take control of your life.
Yes. Take
control of your future, your health, wealth, success, peace of mind, all those things. Why wouldn't I have?
Right.
Like, yes. I would have missed out on my partner, my best friend, my soulmate. I would have missed out because of some construct of what relationships are supposed to be. And honestly, that construct is a lack of reciprocity. It's a lack of accountability. It's like, oh no, they're responsible for my happiness. They're responsible for communication. They're responsible to take me out. They're responsible for my comfort and all that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No ham, no ham, and no turkey. You're responsible for where you are in life and what you do with that life that you're given. I heard a really great quote from a friend, Aziza Scott, great actress. She said, we have the first breath that we take when we come out of the womb and the last breath when we die. What are you going to do in between that? Are you going to sit back and say, I'm waiting on him or her or whomever you're into to call me back?
Right.
Oh, you know, I like this guy, but I didn't go up to him. He didn't come up to me, so I guess he doesn't like me. Men are dealing with the same insecurities, the same fear of rejection, the same confusion as we are.
Right.
It's really audacious to be like, oh, well, they're supposed to do this or do that. And let's face it.
Yeah.
The queens run things. So that is where that's really the issue. If women would really step into their queendom and realize that queens run it.
Right.
You know, it's like then you will understand your power.
Right.
In the kingdom.
Yeah.
Queendom.
Love it.
Okay? Good. You gotta understand your role and your power. You can't release your power to anyone. And I have zero regrets, my love. I have zero regrets.
And that's the way to live. That's how I think ultimately isn't that what we want? You know, to not have regrets, to live fully. So that's amazing. That's amazing. But again, congratulations. I'm so excited to write this. Like I can't wait. I think people are gonna get a lot from it. So thank you so much. It was so nice meeting you.
I'm so honored. Thank you so much for taking the time, Kirby.
No problem. Have a great rest of your day.
Okay, bye.
Bye.